Welcome to another episode of Spark It Up 360. Spark It Up 360 is a platform where we we spark up conversation that ignite faith, purpose, and real life experience. On today's episode of Spark It Up 360, we're going to be looking at choosing a life partner. Amazingly, with me in the studio are,
Adeyinka Adeyemi.
and to my left,
Peculiar Okuronko.
on today's episode, we're going to be looking at what it takes to choose a life partner. What are the things you look out for when choosing a life partner? What are the things to avoid when choosing a life partner? Mr. Adeyinka is a married man, and Ms. Peculiar is a single sister. So they will be sharing their experiences with us. Mr. Adeyinka will be sharing his experience on probably things he looked out for to choose his life partner, while Peculiar will be telling us things she's definitely looking out to for in the man to see that the man is a life partner. Mr. Adeyinka, in your own understanding, what does it mean to choose a life partner in God's way?
Choosing a life partner in God's way is trying as much as possible to be in the sphere of where God has placed you. Like they always say, also try as much as possible to seek somebody within the folks of where you belong to. Try as much as possible to get or seek somebody that you believe in the same faith. The person is also ready to take the same learning from the same source also. So somebody that is just within the confine or within the environment of what guides what you believe.
Thank you very much, sir. Sister Peculiar, when you're choosing a life partner, do you believe in Mr. Right?
What do you mean by Mr. Right?
Okay, choosing a life partner, do you see it as choosing someone who you feel is the most correct person, the perfect person for you?
Okay, I think there is no correct or perfect person, so to say. So for me, one of the basics or one of the most important thing I look out for in choosing a life partner is alignment.
Okay.
Yes. So once there is alignment, there are other things too that follows, but someone that at least most of my visions and values could align together with. I don't think there is like a perfect or correct Mr.
So
Right.
what do you mean by alignment? To say this person aligns with you, aligns with your purpose, what do you mean by that?
So from a godly perspective, right, there are individual wills and destinies God has given to each and every one of us. So it's important that while you are running your individual race, your race of life and destiny, you should be able to run it with someone who's not going to be a chain on your leg, but someone who would rather
That's
be
deep.
like a wind on your wings.
Wow.
You understand? So the
That's
person
quite
is
deep.
going to help you in that journey.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Adeyinka, now in choosing a life partner, she mentioned alignment and compatibility. Where is the place of love? Is love superior to compatibility and alignment, or alignment is superior to compatibility? To love.
Thank you so much. There's one thing that I always tell my wife, even before we marry. um, the definition of love has been, we have over 1001 definition of love. And for me, the definition of love is just commitment that is backed up with discipline. So if we put that in place, whether it's passion, whether it's alignment, whether it's whatever we want to call it, as long as both of us are clear and then committed to that goal, I understand your own place and then you understand my own place, and we are able to objectively and then diligently also tell ourselves the truth about it, and then we see it workable, then it's a good way to go for me.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So you're seeing love from the aspect of practicability,
Yeah.
commitment, objectivity, and so on. So where's the place of emotional attraction towards each other?
So when he talks about an emotional attraction, maybe based on me, I'm talking based on my experience. Emotional attraction works for different people, but then most times, don't let me even say most times. For me, when I see what I finally settled with, I had that consciousness in me that this is it. And I always tell people, if you see the picture of my wife, the first time I saw her, many people would not want to associate with her. And I always told her that God just used that posture to blindfold people, not to see the real gold that he treasure inside that container. So attraction for me might not really be the main thing, but whether the person is attracted to people at that particular point in time, if you're on the right path, when you see the person, something will link you, something will connect you. My wife is now like a goddess now, but then she's work in progress. But now she's still work in progress. So if we're talking about the physical attraction, it might not be then, but if the person have the quality, if the person have the binding that you think you can run with, physical attraction or no physical attraction, in your house you can build the person to be the thing that you want to see.
So if I may ask, what attracted you to her?
Fortunately, the first time when I met my wife, work in the same environment, and I always like to share this story. Work in the same environment, and then I know something will join us together. And I sent some people in the office, who is this person? They told me that this person is having someone, no. And it's like they are very serious. But deep in my mind, I know something, we're going to do something together. She's very industrious, so I just concluded in my mind that probably we'll do business together. And 5 years down the line, when I'm ready to settle down, I went back to her door knocking. Are you ready for me? And she was like, we're not serious. That's 5 years down the line. But like I said, then probably I saw the industrials, and there's something that happened in the office that day, that time also. There's someone that pushed her to the wall, that everybody is expecting reaction. You know, when somebody is so angry unnecessarily to the extent of slamming the table at your front, and then you're just as calm as nothing is happening. And in my mind, I was like, this is actually the person, I'm not missing it.
So emotional stability.
Those are some of the things also that I can say come into it after the clarity that we have something to do together.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Peculiar, earlier on we were talking about alignment.
Yes.
Now, what do you think could disalign two individuals? Or okay, what are the ideas of disalignment that you can see in the man that will make you feel like, no, this is not the right person?
Okay. Thank you. So, for disalignment, when both of us think about life differently, there are different issues of life, different areas of life. As simple as money and spending. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. If both of us do not have or share the same ideology when it comes to making money, spending money, saving money, it could be an issue in future. And also from the godly perspective, if both of us are not sharing the same idea when it comes to kingdom business, I believe that's a huge one. That's a very huge one. So I should be able to align with you in the place of prayer. I should be able to align with you in my business thoughts or career wise.
Okay.
Yes, even if we are not doing the same business or in the same career path, but there should be a strong alignment, right? And the way we see things of life and little things, all right? The way we share responsibilities at home. So there should be like similar thoughts.
So are you saying that you can't marry a man that tell you that I can't wash plates in the house?
I would rather say I cannot marry a narcissist and someone who is authoritative.
Okay. Thank
Yes.
you very much.
We are partners. Yes, and I think we shouldn't drag it far because there's a template. There is no one way leading to this particular market we are discussing today, but there are laid down templates that we've seen over times that have worked. So he is in a place of authority that he doesn't need to command with force. Yes, I am meant to submit, and of course he's meant to love. So there are little things that shouldn't even be an issue, and once those little things are causing issues, then I don't think I should get myself into such danger.
Thank you very much for sharing with us. Now, when you find alignment, what are the factors that you think define readiness?
Financial stability.
Okay,
Yes,
basically.
your factors. So one of them, right? I don't know. I don't know what is going to make me look like, but if you financial stability is not having it all, is beyond having it all, right? Rather, it is your preparedness, your accountability towards money, you being resourceful, you being able to manage and take care of whatever it is you have and multiply whatever it is that is in your hand. So if you are not financially stable overall, I don't think you're ready for marriage.
So no matter how little it is that
No,
the person
that's why I
if you
said,
have the culture of multiplication.
if you have the culture of multiplication, you are resourceful and you are not slothful, you are not sleeping on what you're supposed to be doing. Of course, God can always bless the work of your hand, but what is it going to bless if you are not resourceful and if you are not trying to meet up?
So outside the financial stability, what
Emotional
other?
stability.
Okay.
Yes, I wouldn't want to be with a man that at a trigger he slams a chair on my head. Yeah. So
Okay.
the truth is, I'm going to provoke my husband. That is
You're
the
preparing
truth.
to provoke him.
It's not a curse, it's a fact. There's
Okay.
going to, I mean, this journey, right? We are both raised in different backgrounds, different family culture. So even siblings fight. How much more two people from different world coming to stay in one roof? One day somebody is just going to do something like, "Ah, where I come from, they don't do it like this." So you understand, but your ability to manage that situation, it's a whole lot and
Thank
not
you very much.
escalated.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks for the openness and the sincerity.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Deyinka, she was talking about backgrounds and so on in terms of managing the partner that you're having. Now, in choosing a life partner, do you think culture, society, and then religion, one way or the other, affect our choices of a life partner?
Yeah, a lot of things affect, and then like you mentioned, culture is one of the great things that we cannot really take away from in choosing. But I always tell believers also, if we are true believers, we've come to another culture entirely, which is the culture of God. And that culture of God defines a lot of things about us. So in that culture of God, you love your neighbor as yourself. So the way you want to be treated is the way you are expected also to treat the other person. That's for me. What I will not think, I should not also do it to others. To her especially. Also, that level of openness that I will want her to do to me, I should also be ready also to have that same level of openness with her.
Okay. So, are you saying that the person can decide on his own without the influence of the environment, family as an environment, friends as an environment, and so on?
So this is what I always tell people. As long as you've demonstrated that maturity as an individual, people that also want to come and influence you, they want you to also show that level of maturity.
Okay.
Beyond having financial capacity, I always tell people, our parents will they have that fear that with this woman not come and then control our boy, or with this guy not come and turn the back of our daughter to us. So because of that, it's as if the parent also like to guide and be very interested in who their daughter or their son is bringing up. But the son also should be able to demonstrate maturity, that in this, at least you've trusted me on something bigger. over time. So trust me with this also. And you also that you are taking your spouse to be to the house. I always tell people there is level of prep that you prep the person coming into the house and that you prep the person they are also going to the house to meet. Even if you are bringing angel to the house, if you don't do that prepping for both sides, there will still be a trouble.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
So let me bring an example to it. You know that you have a mother that number one thing that she appreciates in new people is kneeling down for her. And you are bringing a lady from a background that you know that kneeling down is not their own thing. Number one orientation that you should give that person as you are coming to the house, as you see mama like this, put your two nails on the ground. Then she now come to the house, she's now forming, she's not doing that. Number one, you know that trouble is looming.
Sure.
So those are some of the things I always tell people also. You do that two-way prep. If you are also going to their house also, she do that two-way prep. Because you know your people very well. It is not that they dislike the person coming, but they just want to also see something that will make them align with what you are telling them that you've seen.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. As related to what Adeyinka said, now what are the things that you think a prospective mother-in-law can tell you to do, and then it will just scatter the relationship from there?
Have I thought of this before? I don't think I have thought of it.
Okay, because I've seen several videos. I've seen several what's it called, blogs on the issue of a lady going to see the parents-in-law,
Okay.
and then probably they ask her to pound yam, and then she'll be like, "I can use a blender for this thing," and then I don't pound, and that's the end of the relationship and so on. So, do you think all those things are necessary? And if they are, which is the one thing you think you'll be asked to do, and then that might just end it all?
Okay, I would answer the first. I don't know what they will ask me to do. I need to end it all now, but I would rather say in a case of basics, something like pounding. And to be very honest with you, I've never done that before.
Okay.
Where I come from, I'm not the one that do that. So, but if I happen to find myself in situation that I need to do something that is not detrimental to my health, my safety, and my belief system. I mean, when it comes to God, of course, and it's not going to kill me, right? These things are like normal things to do, but it's just that I'm not used to doing them all for some reasons. I mean, it's temporal. I would do it. Yeah, because at that point, I would choose my peace and marriage over anything, as long as it's not detrimental to things I hold very high or dear esteem to me. So, for what are those things? I can't say for now. I don't know.
It's okay. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Mr. Deyinka, you are a married man. Now, what are some truths that married people are holding back from the singles?
What are the truths
Like,
that
what are the things you know now that you didn't know and nobody told you before you got married?
I'm trying to rack my brain around that. But just like Sabaklia said the other time, there are some things that we're coming from different background. So there are some shocking things that when you come into it, you will see also. But I always tell people, as much as possible, prepare for the worst.
Okay.
That's justice. Prepare for the worst, and unfortunately, you won't see that worst. That's just. But just prepare for the worst, and as much as possible, you are dealing with human being, a believer, somebody that can think, that can reason. I believe the word is fair. Let me be like that. I believe that nobody will also want to push you to the end of the world, but in the journey, you can push the other person can push you almost to the end of the world. And there are days that small courtesy that is missing might become a big issue. There are some days that the other person, for not saying thank you, might become the chaos for that moment. And just because of what? Probably because you have a nasty day at work. Probably because of what? You have an high expectation on some things also that doesn't work well. Let me just make this trivia part of it.
Okay.
As little as covering the seat of the toilet can be, there are days that it can be a bigger issue because the other person just forgets to also lift the toilet seat cover before bathing.
So
And
you
then
mean just toilet seat causes problem?
it can cause problem.
Okay.
It's because
So I hope single people are learning.
it can cause problem because they believe that they need to sit on that seat most times when they want to pee, and then you're a guy, you do your things and then just get away. You bathe, the seat is there, water splashes on everywhere, and they want to use it next. So there are days that it can be a big issue. You get it? But ability to manage it, ability to say sorry at this moment, ability to say thank you at this moment, ability to on a exceptional day also just shower that encouragement or shower that good news to the person also. So at times when something wants to get missing, at least at times that I don't even demand this thing also, you shower me those things and then life goes on. But like I keep telling people, it is not like even you are certain that this is the will of God for me, it is not that it's going to be smooth sailing all through, but the ending is always good. That's one thing that I can tell people.
Thank you very much, sir. Peculiar,
Yes.
this will be my last question to you. Do you think there are compromises a single person should make in choosing life partner?
Okay. It depends on what your initial principles were.
Okay.
Yes. So if your principles were just too high, like I used to say, or I discovered something in the course of preparing for marriage, that there's a difference between standard and preference. Yeah, and so some of time women, like women of my generation at time, sometimes mistake preference for standard, right? Preference are like things you want, things that are head high in your head, and they are not really necessary to make a marriage work. But standards are things that, if these things are not in place, you're going to hit a rock in your marriage. So if compromises are coming from standards, then there should be issue. But if you're compromising, or initially in your book you wanted a tall, dark, and handsome guy, and all of a sudden it's a short guy that is coming your way, you may want to compromise on your choice. All right, this was not what you wanted, or somehow you wanted to marry a guy who is based abroad, and all of a sudden he's based somewhere down west, down east in Nigeria. Oh, I think let me just compromise. There are, like, when you are compromising preferences that do not really determine how happy your marriage will be, it's okay. But when you are compromising standard, even as a believer, what you hold dear to you, what Christ have already laid down for you to follow as a guide, then there's going to be an issue.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yeah.
And lastly, Mr. Denyika, what is that one advice you give to a single man, a single lady out there who is deciding choosing a life partner?
My key advice to them, number one is knowing God for yourself. Number two is when you finally see what you want, also go out for it. That's number two. And then number three is be open to the extent that you want the other person to be open to you. Every other thing we find is balance among it. Number one, know God for yourself. Number two is what do I call it again? Number one, knowing God for yourself. Number two, when you see what you want, go for it. Number three is be open. Like, to the extent that you want the other person to be open to you, then be open to the person also, which is the principle of do to others what you want them to do for you. I can go into theory, but theory will not help. But those are the basics that I believe that everybody will understand. I pray. That's me, Sha.
Thank you, Mr. Denyika. Thank you, Ms. Peculiar.
Thank you.
To our viewers out there, thank you very much for watching this episode of Spark It Up 360. We hope that you enjoyed this session. And then please do well to like, do well to share, and do well to comment. If you have questions, please do well to put it in the comment section. It will be attended to. See you in the next episode.